So as you guys know, this is our no rule meditation. This is our non-meditation meditation, which really means that it's all about just, it's Monday morning. It's time to juice up some juicy, yummy vibes. And so if that means you want to lie down, lie down. If it means you're walking the dog, walk the dog. If it means you want to sit, drink coffee, drink tea, eat eggs, really there's no rules here. Even when I'm going to invite you to do stuff, if you don't feel like doing it, don't do it. And that is not just my non-rule for the meditation. That is a reminder and an invitation to do that all the time, all the time. The invitation is to be checking in and double checking. Do I want to do this right now? Do I have the ability to opt out? Can I break the rules and giggle a little bit and just realize that I get to do what I want to do? So that's the theme for the meditation. That's the theme for everything. Because even if you're learning law of attraction, even if I'm teaching you a process, if you end up, you know, thinking, oh, like, I just don't want to do this, you have never heard me say, if you don't feel like doing it, then force yourself. We definitely don't want to do that. So this morning, we'll set that intention and maybe give ourselves permission throughout the week to check in and break the rules a little bit. Double check what do I want to do? What do I not want to do? So you can have your notebook with you. You can have a piece of paper. You can have your computer open. Because sometimes once we relax and sometimes once we kind of give ourselves some space, sometimes that's like the universe is like, oh, there's a little crack. There's a little crack open. So let me just like send some messages right now while you're relaxing. And so sometimes I find in the first 5 or 10 minutes of relaxing in a meditation, I need to write stuff down it's just coming to me. Things that my mind or the universe doesn't want me to forget come to me, and if I just write it down, then I can forget about it. Or sometimes I have an idea or inspiration that, oh, this would be cool, or I should do that, or I should Google this, or I should talk to this person. And those in this state of relaxing meditation, those messages seem so clear. And it's like, yes, I'm 100% going to do that. So sometimes we don't write it down because it seems so obvious and clear that we're 100% going to do that thing. But then when we step away from the meditation and kind of the energy of the day or the culmination of your life starts taking over, we're like, oh, I don't need to do that. Or, oh, that's probably not for me. Oh, what was I even thinking? I thought I should do something. I don't even remember. Okay, well, whatever. It's probably not important. And really, what is happening there is when you're relaxing and you're starting to feel good, that is the perfect time to trust those pulses of energy, those all of those little things that pop out. That is what you want to trust yourself when you're feeling good. When you relax, when you are stirring up some of that juicy stuff, you want to capture everything that your mind and the universe gives to you because those are your nuggets. That is the light shining your path of what the next steps are for you. And so, of course, it would make sense that once the day's energy, maybe your boss's energy, your family's energy, whatever you got going on energy, as that energy starts taking over, the clarity you had when you were feeling the best can go away. And that's just all that's happening is because those amazing next steps, that clarity, those little brilliant ideas you have aren't a vibrational match to the kind of the yuckier energy down here. So the thoughts you have with good energy are a vibrational match to the good energy and are shining the light for a path that gives you continued good energy. And then when you got yucky energy and you're down here, the ideas you have are vibrational match down here and they light up a path that will hold you down here. So that was just a little bit of a reminder. And so what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be going over some interesting meditation techniques, or really the main one that I learned when I went on a 7-day silent meditation retreat. I talked a little bit about that last week, and it was a Buddhist meditation retreat. And even in this Buddhist meditation retreat, like the goal was not to sit there and not think anything. Sometimes that is a pleasant result to have kind of this space. But the idea is that when we're in meditation, we're actually pretty busy because our mind is throwing tons of stuff our way. And there's a way to process those thoughts in a way that helps us release them. So that is the process I'm going to bring you through today. And then we will also end with a little bit of loving kindness meditation, which is a process to send out really good vibes to everybody that we want to do that with. So before we get started, I invite you to close your eyes, see if you can get a little bit more comfortable, see if your butt cheeks need adjustment, see if there's an extra pillow. I invite you to close your eyes and take some deep breaths. So let's take 5 deep breaths. And these are the kind of cozy deep breaths where we breathe in as much as we possibly can to just fill our lungs and our bellies. And then when we breathe out, we try to breathe out every little morsel of air so that on the second deep breath, we are literally replacing all of the air in our system. Because if we just do shallow breathing, picture the cup, right? Then there's a bunch of air that just kind of stays in there and is stagnant because it's not full of fresh oxygen. So if we take a deep breath in, empty out every little morsel by blowing every little bit of air out, then on those preceding deep breaths, we're actually replenishing with fresh oxygen for our body. So let's do that 5 times. I lost count, but let's do one more. I invite you to bring a little smile to your face and let yourself know that you think you're doing a good job. Good job for showing up this morning. Good job for being on your path. Good job for being so kind to your body, the cells in your body. Thank you for this little break. In this break, the resistance you have on a daily basis that's like, yeah, kind of slips away. So your body and your mind says, thank you. Thank you for this little reprieve, this little rest. So, the main process that we are going to do to basically process our thoughts is the first thing we're going to do is let's say we're sitting there with the intention of just relaxing. And the idea is maybe to relax our mind and not think of much, just to not offer resistance. So let we start off that intention and then like 1.5 seconds later, a thought comes in our mind. The first thing we're going to ask ourselves is this thought a product of our physical body or is it a product of our mind? Meaning, am I saying, oh, my back hurts or something hurts or, or I'm not very comfortable? That thought would be stemming from something physical. And then if it's more something like, oh, I'm bored or what am I doing? Or man, I actually really need to check my emails or oh man, like I wish I could do this better. Those are thoughts that are stemming from the mind. So we're not going to do anything with this information. It's not going to dictate anything. We're just trying to be aware if the thought that we're thinking was stemming from our physical body or our mind. As a reminder, our mind is an organ that's job is to think. We don't really want our brain stopping functioning. So let's not get angry at it when it's doing its job. So all we're going to do is recognize, and for me it's usually my mind. It's usually, oh, this thought is really brain activity. Literally there's neurotransmitters in my brain buzzing around, and these little neurotransmitters are doing their job. And so all I'm doing is recognizing that this thought is stemming from my mind. My mind is chemical ecosystem doing all sorts of things, and that's all that's going on. My mind wants to think because that's its only job. So the second thing we're going to ask ourselves is the thought that just popped up, regardless of whether it's from the mind or regardless of whether it's from the body, what is the pleasure level of this thought? Is it pleasurable? Is it not pleasurable? Or is it neutral? And again, we're actually not going to do anything with this information. We're just checking in. We're just processing it. We're just trying to be aware of it, because only when we are aware and allowing does the miracle of resistance go away. With law of attraction, there's two ways to manifest. There is to intentionally be juice flexing muscles, emotional muscles like appreciation and wealth and abundance and love. But what we're doing here is we're really doing the second method, which is to just simmer everything, simmer the resistance down so we have the space of no resistance. Because the undercurrent of the world and the universe is a strong undercurrent of positivity. So if we're just releasing resistance, then we can get swept up in that current of positivity and well-being. A lot of times it's easier to intentionally pulse out love and strength and everything you want. Sometimes it's easier to intentionally flex what you want rather than this, which is the, just the practice of releasing resistance. However, this is still a really good practice. So a thought comes into our mind and we check in, is this from the body or is this from the mind? And is there any pleasure to this? The Buddhist word they use is Vedana. I think it's Vedena. And it's just the question is there, what is the Vedana, or is it positive or negative or neutral? And then the third thing is we're going to ask, can I be aware of this thought without being attached to this thought? So, can I be aware and unattached? Meaning, can I observe it and allow it without being emotionally attached? And for some of us, God, we've never asked this question before. We don't even know what that would feel like. But the good news is, in this practice, you don't have to answer this question. We're just posing the question to the universe. Can I be aware and unattached? Can I be aware and unattached? Isn't that just such an interesting concept to ponder? Can I be aware of you and be unattached, emotionally unattached? Meaning I see you, but can I be unattached? What I like to do after this, and I think this is maybe part of what they taught, or it's a different thing, but I like to combine the two, is I then I like to offer this thought to sail away. And so there's different ways you can have this thought sail away. And you don't have to do this step. So this one's optional. So basically, so let's say that we're sitting there and then all of a sudden we are tormented. The thought comes onto our mind of this conversation. Somebody said something to us we really didn't like yesterday, and we just can't believe this happened. And so we think about this and we're role playing it in our mind. And then we say, I caught you. Are you from my mind or are you from my body? Well, you're definitely from my mind. And is there any pleasure? No, there's no pleasure to this. This is uncomfortable thought. I don't like this. All right, well, I see you. I can be aware of you. And can I be aware of you without being, and then the process to send this away, I often like to put the thought in a little air balloon, in a little boat, and then take a couple deep breaths and on my exhale, kind of blow it away and watch it sail away. If you want something a little more aggressive, you could put it in a cannon and shoot it away. You could, you know, throw it up with, and then hit it with a baseball bat. So anything that you really like to send this thought away. And so for me, I'm going to stick with the air balloon. So then I say, okay, thought about this conversation yesterday. You're going to go in this little air balloon. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to blow you away. It usually takes a couple breaths to get that little air balloon over the horizon. And then as it goes over the horizon or away, then there's for this period of time, there's a little bit of stillness. There's a little bit of silence. There's a little bit of voidness. And in that short period of time, for it could be for you 1 second. That's okay. Could be 8 seconds. That's amazing. So in this period, after we kind of process this thought and sail it away, there's this period of just stillness. And so using our conscious mind, looking at the stillness, the observer in you that can see the stillness is the real you. Your brain that thinks things and when you think things and you can see yourself thinking those things are not you. You are the observer. So after you go through a cycle of this, there's a period of stillness where you can observe the stillness. And in that few seconds, you have released resistance. And in that few seconds, a release of resistance is really powerful. So we'll go over this mind or body, pleasure, no pleasure, neutral. Can we be aware and unattached? And can we then blow this thought away? And then you enjoy your stillness for a couple seconds and then the next thought pops in and then you do that process again. And if you set your alarm for 10 or 15 minutes and do this on your own, you'll see that this meditation keeps you very, very busy because you're doing it over and over and over again. And that is totally cool. And you'll find that the more you do it over and over and over again, the longer your periods of stillness in between will last. And then you can decide for yourself if you like this form of meditation. So let's take a few minutes to practice together. So I'm going to be silent. And as soon as you catch yourself with a thought, process it. If you are thinking the thought for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 seconds before you catch yourself and process it, don't worry about it. Just process it whenever you catch yourself. Because the mere fact you're attempting this means that you are reaching dollars done very quickly. So I'm going to be silent for a few minutes and let's practice. Let's see if we can catch some thoughts, process them, and wish them away. I've already caught myself. There's some construction just started. So I'll just share my processing with you quickly. I hear this noise. I'm thinking, oh, are they hearing it? Is it bothering them? So I'm recognizing that this thought is from the brain. It's not really pleasure or no pleasure. It's neutral for me. Can I be aware of this without being attached? I'm not even going to answer. And then I'm going to put those little trucks in an air balloon and blow them away. Now I'm observing that stillness. And the more I can anchor my observance of the stillness, the longer it will last. Do a little check in. Are you thinking a thought that needs to be processed? You might notice while you're doing this that you can see that there's some brain activity without really having full formed thoughts. So you know your brain is kind of doing something, but it's not necessarily a crisp, clear thought. Don't worry if that's what's happening. Don't worry about it. I think that's actually a sign that you're getting good. I can usually feel like this brain activity. Like if I was hooked up to something, there'd be like this low chatter bleeps, but I don't actually even know what I'm thinking about. That's just the brain doing brain stuff. So we can just not worry about it. So we'll just take one more minute. When I do this meditation, I use a app called Insight Timer. It is a app that has lots of free guided meditations. I find generally there's so much content on that app that I can never find something to listen to. Sometimes I do, but the beauty of this app is they have a really nice timer that you can add little bells to. And so I will set the timer for, I'd say anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes on the low end, up to maybe 40 minutes. And my entire intention for that period of time is to just process thoughts like this. It's an amazing way to prepare the body for sleep in the evening. If you have any sleeping issues, I highly, highly recommend doing that before bed. So that's it. It's pretty simple. So you can kind of decide if you like that or not. And if you do, then you can just practice whenever you feel like it. How we're going to end today is actually, I think I saw a chat, somebody, not that I got here a bit late. If the thought is good, do we still send it in a balloon and send it off? Oh, what a good question. I remember asking a very similar question. In my silent meditation retreat, after the first few days, which were really hard, I kind of dipped into a state. like a state of euphoria because I just ended up enjoying every second of the silent meditation retreat the last 4 or 5 days. And I was able to move past the tormenting thoughts into just like these really juicy good ones. And I had an opportunity to ask the meditation teacher a question. I asked a similar question, and there's not a yes or a no answer for you. It is totally up to you. So, if you are enjoying a cozy, yummy thought that has come along, by all means, hold on to it. If you want to just enjoy it. Do whatever you want. Yeah, I did a lot of that in that silent meditation retreat. If you would like to practice stillness and explore that stillness, then you can send it off. So it's really up to you. The meditation teacher told me that if while I was doing this, I had a lot of positive thoughts, he said, oftentimes that is a sign that it has been a while since I have checked in on what I need. And so I don't know if that is relevant for you or not, but if you're experiencing that, you can ask yourself, has it been a while since I have checked in on what my needs are? Meaning, do I need more time alone? Do I need more time with friends? Do I need a hot bath? Do I need a run? Do I need different people in my life? Do I need a different job? Do I need a different home? So you can take what you want with that. So you get to decide all times which pieces of the process you want to do or not do. If you are left with a little grin and feeling good, then we have succeeded. And anything you can think of that results in a grin and feeling better than you did is massive success, regardless of whether you follow my instruction or not. So, we are going to do a little bit of a loving kindness meditation, and I'm going to just start and you can follow along. And so the first thing that we do is we think of something. We're going to be sending love to some different people. So the first person I want you to put in your mind is somebody that you really love. And it's easy love. Could be your dog, it could be your neighbor, it could be a family member, it could be a friend. So put this person in your mind. May you be may you have health, may you be happy, may you have ease. And we're going to be sending these well wishes to different people. So we usually do a couple different, maybe 3 different rounds. And the first one is somebody that's really easy to send love to. May you have health. May you be happy. May you have ease. May you have health. May you be happy. May you feel ease. Now, think of maybe an acquaintance, somebody that maybe somebody who works at a store you go to, somebody you pass at work, just a total acquaintance. May you have health. May you have happiness. May you have ease. May you have health. May you have happiness. May you have ease. Can you feel, kind of wiggle yourself to that feeling space of how good does it feel to send somebody health, happiness, ease? Dear acquaintance, may you have health, may you have happiness, and may you have ease. Now we can think of the whole world, everybody in the whole world, most people who are on the path for finding happiness and on their path going through different things. So let's picture the whole world. May you have health, May everybody have happiness. May everybody have ease. May everybody have health. May everybody have happiness. May everybody have ease. May everybody have health. May everybody have happiness. May everybody have ease. Now we're going to go inwards to ourselves. We're going to send these well wishes to ourselves. May I have health. May I have happiness. May I have ease. May I have health. May I have happiness. May I have ease. May I have health. May I have happiness. May I have ease. And lastly, let's pick somebody who maybe is a little difficult to love, that you may get frustrated with, maybe you're annoyed with, maybe try to avoid. Anybody you want who really probably could use some well wishes. May they have health. May they have happiness. May they have peace. May they have health. May they have happiness. May they have ease. May they have health. May they have happiness. May they have ease. We are beings who can sit here and react to the energy of the world, but we are also beings who can sit here and create energy and send it out into the world. We are beings of love. We are creators. We are powerful manifestors. There's many ways we can tap into and share and create. We can use law of attraction techniques, which is shifting our energy from where it is to where we want it to be. We can work on creating stillness and silence and releasing resistance. We can create and send out energy for ourselves. We can create and send out energy for the whole world. We can do whatever we want. We are free beings. We are free to think what we want to think. We are free to think that we can or cannot. We are free to try. We are free to not try. So I want to thank you for being here with me this morning. We went a little longer than normal, so I want to thank you. And let's take a deep breath and just appreciate that we were all here creating together this morning.